Look at the boy. He's being so good. What's up, buddy? You want a snacky? Rocky, you need a snack? Yeah, tell those mofos. What's up, yo? This is my good boy. Yep. He's a good boy, huh? Yeah. 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 Yep. Nobody's in here yet, buddy, so I'm just going to sit here and pet my dog. Hello, desert. What is going on? Hey, desert says hello. Can you say hello? Paul, what's up? Elliot, yes, sir, I am Mr. Elliot. I am back. Funeral was on Tuesday, and we're back today. You just got home from getting groceries. Dude, how do you find time to do it when you're going live, too? That's crazy, man. I always try to do things before I go live just so I never have to do it again. You okay, buddy? Aw, you want a snack, or you just wanted me to pet you? Huh? Also, I'm going to grab your tooth, because I'm an asshole. My condolences. Thank you very much. Also, I'll make sure to shout you out, when we get more people in here, too. But, yeah, Desert Army, man. He's got a cool little setup, man. He's got so much of the cooler, older stuff, man. I just, that's why I like YouTube, man. All of us like different things, man. Just got off live to watch you. Oh, thanks, Paul. I appreciate that. I didn't know you did lives as well. Everybody go to Paul, too. Jeez, Lycan came in with a $20 dono. You know how many snacks that'll get the boy? Look at that. Also, the coloring in him. Wait, stop. Doesn't it kind of make him look like he's like a Vulcan or a Romulan? Doesn't he look like Michael Dorn a little bit? Yeah, it's awesome to see what people have. Yeah, exactly, man. Like I like the more modern stuff. For example, hold on a second. Let's give the dog a treat. You want a treat, buddy? Here you go. Well, there you go. Sorry, he gets a little nervous when things almost hit him and a bag almost fell on his head. Also, I'm still working on my computer. I went and grabbed a cheaper processor. So I sold my 12900K. So I was just going to run this 12600K until I wait for either a new AMD like 9800 X3D or something. So I bought this to put in there without realizing that I bent the living shit out of the pins. So that motherboard is now dead. So yay! So now I got to build something else. Wait, where's one? Where's one? Does that look like one? Yeah. His entire mouth region is black. You never notice it. Yeah, it's something you don't really notice until you like see him straight on. Oh, that sucks. Well, I mean, it's an older system, so it's okay that it's down. Plus, the fact that I'm using this old ass system right now and it's still doing okay. I might just go on Facebook and find like an upgraded CPU because that's an old 2600X, which is an old 6-core processor. I can throw a 5800 X3D or something in there and it would probably do me for a while. But yeah, so like the picture for the live, that is the 1022 Target. They used to be in an A-Team chassis. And John over at Sharps Brothers sent me the heat seeker. So, yeah, and it works perfectly with the bull barrel, which is pretty nice. What's up, Michael? What's up, Buckshot? Everybody thank Lycan. Lycan has been a huge friggin' supporter of my channel, and I really appreciate it. Thank you, Lycan. Thank you. In fact, we need to talk about what the Halloween live stream is going to be this year, but yeah. Yeah, appreciate that, brother. Crazy how internet is being created from parts on a desk like that. Yeah, isn't it crazy? Like, these are all used parts, too. I don't think anything on here was new except for, like, my drives, NVMEs. So, yeah, Lycan and Untitled Goose. Oh, damn. I almost grabbed something that I shouldn't have. Here, look this way. Okay. Yeah, number one rule, if you're doing a live stream and you're in Firearms, kids, all you new people, don't grab a gun. Okay? Yeah. Also, I think I need to repaint the background. It's starting to get a little scratched up. So I don't leave the guns up after a live stream. I might leave like that one because it's cheap or the Yeet Cannon because it's cheap. But for the most part, I put away all of my guns after a live. So, yeah. The grips look comfy on the Yeet Cannon. You know, they can be stippled if you don't like them, but yeah, they are actual grips, which is nice. Mouse, what is up? So the Yeet Cannon actually shoots fun, and I actually took the threaded barrel protector, the rainbow colored one, off of my RXM, which has the rainbow barrel in it now, and put it on there. But yeah, if you don't touch them, they still say you did. Yeah, no, I accidentally brushed the front trunnion of an AK-47, barely nicked it with the tip of my fingertip, and they killed my live stream. So yeah, I can't take any chances. Yeah, the DWX with the mailbox on top. Yeah, it used to have that chameleon on top, but I put the chameleon on the XP Pro because, you know, it's a good, nice, round-sized dot. Burr has sent me that one. It's not that big a reticle. It's actually probably no bigger than the one that's on this DY9. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Looks good with the mailbox. Yeah, it looks good with the mailbox, except for it just doesn't quite work. I do want to get an actual SRO for that gun. That gun is so friggin' expensive that it deserves a good optic on it. So at some point, I will put an SRO on there. Or I might swap over that one, the EPS full size. I've had that for a while. I've also got the 509T, the titanium bodied one. So that needs to go on something. But yeah, I was thinking I'd put my square body suppressor on this gun because it's just a 1022. I actually took the grip and the stock off of my 37 millimeter because when you order the Sharps Brothers chassis, it doesn't come with a pistol grip or a buffer tube. And I happen to have those laying around, and I actually like that stock. It's a minimalist style stock. I'm going to have my buddy Greg at Liberty Arms stipple me a B5 grip for this gun. And then I'm probably going to put a hand stop there or a bipod maybe. And then a much better optic. That's just an old optic I had laying around. You like the EPS carry? Yeah, me too. Very nice 1022. It was a nice model to start with because it's the bull barrel. It's got the thicker barrel on it, so it looks nicer. It fills out the chassis more. That little 10-round mag looks stupid in there, though. Did you just poop? Hold on a second. Where'd you go to? Did you just go somewhere and fart, or did you just go get water? Come here. Yeah, they do great work, and for some reason, those videos... Hey, Cody, what's up? Those videos are actually really popular here on the channel. So, yeah, he's been happy to send them to me. I did that RXM one. Sorry, it's going to be dark for a second. I did the RXM chassis video, and it's gotten like 16,000 views in only a month. So that's pretty good. But yeah, so I ripped the grip and stuff off of my 37 millimeter. Well, he said, let's play hide the poop. No, I know exactly where he poops. And then now I have the stock from the 1022, which I may wind up selling because it's the Target nice stock. But yeah. Yeah, store's kind of ripped apart. We're going to get it ready for... This whole wall is going to become a rifle wall for the store, and these are going to get refinished. I'm going to finish up the front and change up the color. So these are going to become gun cases, and then I got like video games and shit in these cases. So these ones will continue to be like electronics and stuff. Random box of gun cases, because why not? Yeah, if you guys are looking to do stuff, man, Sharps Brothers. Ooh, it's a sticker. Hold on a second. We've got the not a Mac. But I think this will look good right here. Right underneath the Heckler and Koch. What you guys doing anyways today, man? Hold on a second. Look at me in the store playing with dogs and with more. It's amore. Yeah, so we'll just there we go. There you go. Doing much better. In regards to like my mental state, nope, not at all. But you know, the best part about it is I can fake it. Question, how do full format videos make money? I'm monetized now, but how do regular videos work? So after you upload your video, if you have the YouTube Studio, I'll show it to you in a minute. You can go in there and monetize them. And yes, a long form video at least 8 minutes. You can get mid-rolls in there, Desert, and they will make you a lot more money. For example, my 9 million view PPK video has made me $250. My 500,000 view Rock Island video has made me $2,500. Do I have any recommendations for Prime Day deals? No, because I am poor, so I haven't been on Amazon in a while. But yes, it is an original Nintendo. So we're going back into the gun room. Don't worry, guys. Broke Boy, what is up? So, got ammo? Or a violin? Because why not? Dude, you guys remember this freaking old-ass computer? The Dell XPS? With the 3mm thick walls and the upside-down build? Thanks, my friend. We're trying to figure out how that part works. Yeah, when we go back into the office, I'll log into my YouTube studio so you can see it. Hold on. There we go. This is back when, yeah. Holy shit, that's old. You stop talking about my mother. There's one for you. There's a throwback. The shit I have laying around, dude. This is an old EVGA who ripped their graphics card. 750 Ti. Believe it or not, you can still use that in 25. Hold on a second. Let me turn. Look at him. He's all lazy. My dog is lazy. How you doing, Joe? Hanging in there, buddy. How you doing, Brady? I can't see anymore. It's oh, there we go. It's dark in here. We're going back into the gun room, kids. Chill out. Is that a charging handle? Where? In my pants? No, I'm just happy to see you. Employees only, please. So, anyway. You guys want a gun wall names? This was back, yeah. That's about it, man. You can quote me on a lot of stuff because usually I forget what I'm saying halfway through it. Dagger frame. Just laying around. The Night Stalker with my suppressor on it. Ooh, that angle looks kind of cool. It looks longer in pictures. It was cold in the pool. Wall looks great, and the store's coming along. The store's actually partially torn apart, but I appreciate that, brother. My Daria DY9. I really like this gun, and if I was like a reasonable person, I would have put up the video already. But here's the deal. That's the drive that has all the... Hold on. Dog hair. That's the drive that has all the footage on it. And it's corrupted. So I'm hoping to save the info off of here. It used to have my operating system from that computer on it. But when I put a 4.8 gigahertz overclock on that CPU, it fried this NVMe. So that was not on the table. Maybe. I don't remember. I'll be honest. I have Dory memory. Also, world's hottest chocolate bar. I use them at a range, CT. Someday I'm going to fire off those 50 BMGs. Also, why does one look shorter? Just the paint, I guess. The Heritage Rough Rider, Barkeep. That little 22, I got to take that out and shoot it. Haven't put a round through that yet. Maybe I'll sell it. What are your thoughts on a Mossberg Maverick 88 Security? Excellent choice for the budget-minded 12-gauge purchaser. Pump-action shotguns are extremely reliable, especially when they come from reputable brands. And the 88 is basically a Mossberg 500 that you get at the outlet malls. They're slightly less expensive because they use slightly cheaper materials, but you could also upgrade it with every part out of a Mossberg 500. So that's definitely an excellent upgrade path should you choose. The Dan Wesson DWX. Ask me why that's a $2,500 fuck you to Dan Wesson. The XP Pro. Thank you, Fusion, by the way. Fusion Firearms sent me that and that. The XF Pro and the XP Pro. I've done videos, tabletops on them both. I've shot that one at the range. That one shoots ridiculously well, and I did it with iron sights. I actually haven't shot it with that optic on it yet. I think with that big ass optic on it, it would do really well. Dibs on the 22. I can't sell that 22. If you're talking about that 22, I won't sell that 22 because I'm into it for literally nothing. I got paid to take it. But that one I can't sell I don't sell review samples. I almost sold one, and I'm an idiot, so I actually talked my way out of having to actually honor my agreement with Stonehaven, because that's my Gerson Match X with my buddy's custom tree bark grip, my custom work, my custom refinishing work. Actually, that's Taylor's and Company's refinishing work to give it that high polish on the slide, kind of like a Colt. That gun has a 1 pound 9 ounce trigger in it, so that gun is probably my fastest 2011, and if you watch PewView, you will know that that was his number 2 2011. It beat out Staccato. I love that. The fact that such a popular YouTuber prefers the Gerson over the Staccato made my chub a little bit bigger. The Tanfolio Witness. I love that gun. I love shooting that gun. Jimmy John's. They're freakishly fast food delivery. The Chris Finks. I need to take that back out to the range and shoot it. I'm going to shoot that with that. That's why they're kind of up there together. They're both 4-inch, 9mm, double stack, multiple part guns. So I'm going to definitely take those out and shoot those together. I have downloaded Twitch onto my phone. So yes, I can also do some Twitch streaming. So I may do that from the range. So stay tuned for that. The Night Stalker. The Night Stalker is also, that was my first 2011. I've had double stack 1911s before, the Power Ordnance, etc. But that was my first like true 2011, and it's also heavily modified. That has a slide that's almost as good as that, but that one has a trigger that's way better than that one. But that was the one I sold to Stonehaven like a year ago, and SDS wanted back because I was bitching about it. Yeah. Don't know what's going on with SDS lately. I thought I was being a good ambassador for them, but apparently they just stopped responding to emails. So, still recommend the guns. Don't know why they don't want to work with me, but fine. I don't care. Yeah. Them not working with me will not stop me from reviewing guns. You have the Night Stalker and you love yours. Nice. Starting to go through your videos. It's helping me because I know nothing really about semi-automatics. I'm more of a revolver guy. Joe, appreciate that. I go through all my videos from a would I buy this perspective, which I think is slightly different than like guys like Honest Outlaw and guys like those who just take them out and just immediately shoot them, and they're shooting it at 8 million yards. Me, when I do my tabletops, I'm literally showing you the guns, kind of giving you a little bit of the backstory if I know it, and then I do the field strips and stuff. So I'm more of a consumer-based review channel. The Sears 43, I need to take that out and shoot it. I also need to put some kind of scope on it because, yeah, I'm old. By the way, I am officially old because I have a colonoscopy scheduled. So hopefully everything comes out in the end because they're going to stick a 6-foot tube up my ass. The DY9, does a DY9 grip bite any? No. That extreme undercut that it has coming way up into the grip allows you to get really high on the gun. So even though it's no longer than that one, you can see the difference in the undercut. So it actually is very comfortable to hold. Is that a Star Firestar? I have a blued one. How do you like yours? Have not taken it to the range yet. I was told that this finish is shit, but I actually polished out a couple of scratches that it had. I didn't want to damage that duller finish, but now that I know it's actually a finish and it's not real stainless, I may just have it sandblasted and then polish it out. Dave, what's going on? The Keltec KS7, that is a waste of money. Do yourself a favor, don't get one. If you're going to go to Keltec, get the KSG, get the double tubes. The KS7 is fun, but it's a pain in the ass. I have the extended base pad on there, and it still sucks to shoot. What else is up there? The E-Cannon. Straight blowback with a suppressor is really dirty. That thing was throwing shards in my face. So don't do straight blowback with the suppressor. It's really dirty. You really like the Star, how it looks. Yeah, I do too. That's kind of why I bought it. Also, my buddy gave me a hell of a deal on it. That's the M45, so it's the 45 caliber version. I kind of want the M43, and I kind of want the M43 Plus. Remember they did a double stack right before they killed the model? I really want to find the double stack. But I like how all the controls are extended. You see how like the mag release is extended. This is a gun from the 90s, by the way. It's got an extended control there. It's got the nice extended controls up for the slide lock. And it's ambidextrous. I can't take it down, but if you look on the other side, it's ambidextrous from 1994. You can make some pretty cool stuff with your 3D printer. Yeah. What are your opinions on the solo writings of Engels? Never really got into that kind of writing. Don't really have an opinion. talking about like Martin and Engels and political educations, I don't get into political stuff. Let's see, the grips that I got from Drunk, need to finish those up. Very, very nice, thank you. I can make some really cool. Standard Manufacturing DP12 or SSR. I don't know either of those intimately, as I've never held one because none of the places I ever worked at brought them in, but I've heard okay things. The wall is not fully arranged. I was taking a nap with my doggy and I woke up late, so I didn't put the Benelli up because I was screwing with that. And then a couple of the CZs are put away in their cases. I put away some of the 2024 guns. The X5 Legion isn't up there because that was a 2024 gun. The CZ SPL1 is actually a 2023 gun. And the SIG Fuse I took down just because I need to shoot it and it's loaded right now. I don't like to put loaded guns on the wall just in case they were to fall. The chances of a gun going off from being dropped is very, 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 very small. But I don't like taking the risk at all because I got my doggo. Why do you look sad, bro? You look like you're sad. He stayed at my buddy's yesterday, so the comp makes the 1911s pop out. Yeah, I need to do some polishing work to that gun. So that was a $300 1911 from G-Force Arms. It's in 45 ACP. I threw my EAA Gerson grips on it because they were more sticky than the factory wood grips it had. It came factory with fiber optics and an adjustable trigger, but it is an appalling feeling. I've heard they're better than the Keltec shotgun and are trying to do the same sort of thing. Very possibly, dude. Keltec was first and everybody else copies them, so it's always funny when Turkey copies a crackhead. Sorry, buddy. My doggo's kind of sleepy. So, yeah, I drove up Monday night. I left here at 4, got up there close to midnight. And then I went to the funeral, and I left the funeral and came back at about 1:15, got home around 9 because it was raining. Yeah. But anyways, come on in, say hi. I do want to discuss a few things with you guys regarding possible live stream for the Halloween day. Last year I dressed up as a pumpkin maid. The potentials for me dressing like an idiot are there, but it's going to cost you guys a lot of money. So, you guys want me to dress stupid, you got to pay me. What are we discussing? Just kind of whatever. Desert. Let me open my my studio real quick. So, hold on a second. My dog's like, why are you still talking? So, so for your videos, just go to any one of them, right? And then when you open it up, I'm assuming you're doing this on a PC. When you open it up on this tab, on this side, you're going to have all your tabs. So you're going to have your comments. You can answer, you know, when people talk and stuff. You can sort them, things like that. Is doggo hair from the factory? Yes. Okay, so you can like shit. Stuff like that. But yeah, when you go down to monetization, you're going to select whether you want it monetized or not. I'm not going to change it because it can always screw things up. If your video is over 8 minutes long, you can have a pre-roll, a post-roll, and a mid-roll. Yes, I still have the boobies. So you can decide what to do. You can insert rolls manually. You'll see like some YouTubers, I'm on YouTube Premium now because I'm tired of ads. So I will pay the $14 a month, plus I get unlimited music, and I was already paying $10.99 for the music, so $3 for premium is fine. But when you see like some of these creators out there that have an 8 minute and 1 second video and they have 9 ads in it, they are manually inserting that many ads, and that's bullshit. If you're one of those guys, stop it. One suggestion too is make sure that you monetize, because if you monetize, you will become higher in the algorithms. Since you got monetized, go ahead and monetize your videos. It may seem like you're selling out, but god damn it, we do this. And if we make enough money to pay for a couple of pina coladas, so be it. But I will show you. So when I sort, by the way, so 667 pages of videos. That's how many videos I have on my channel. I have over 2,000 videos on this channel. But yeah, so when you go to shorts, right, and you sort by views. Oh, live highlights are fucking okay. So 9 million views for this guy, right? The man with the stainless gun. I don't care if you see my analytics, right? Man with the stainless gun. Go to the analytics. It's made me $258 for 9 million views. That's it. Okay. It's gotten me 30,000 of my subscribers, though. That's why shorts are important. 30,000 of my subscribers have come along because of this one video. I'm pretty sure the one that's actually the highest is your SIG can't do this. Let's see. I don't know why some of these have things like, why is that so popular? Or why is, like this one, why does this have 3 million views? I don't know. But it's also gotten me only 2,000 subscribers. I used English there. Did you hear it? But then when you sort these guys, and you're looking at this one. So this is my most popular video ever. I put it up in 2020. Rock Island Made a Hilarious 1911. It's had 587,000 views. So this one has, what is that? 1/18th the number of views. And that's how much it's made me. So that's why you also want to get a lot of views. Is that a barkeep hanging on the wall? You betcha. Got my Mark 18 yesterday. I absolutely love it. Awesome, dude. Come on, guys. Double tap the live stream. Look, guys, if you guys don't want to be here, I get that. But hey, we talk about everything. And my buddy Desert, you can find him on YouTube. He goes live more than I do. Yeah, go watch him, dude. 16,000 subs or something like 6,000 subs. I don't remember how many he's got, but dude, he's going to grow big because he's in a niche where the guns he looks at are awesome. But yeah, sorry guys. I'm trying to just do this today. Like, I'm thinking about doing everyday live streams, like live streams every day, which I don't know if that's a good idea, but I might start doing them anyway. Boy, this shirt really makes my neck look fat. No, your fat makes your neck look fat. Thank you. You want to know the kind of good dog owner I am? I got a sandwich with nothing on it so I can give him the meat off of it. But anyways, get in here. Let's discuss some stuff. So, if you guys want me to do stupid shit on the live streams, I am all for it, but you got to pay me, so keep that in mind. The Yosemite Sam tattoo is still a viable one where I did the skeletonized Yosemite Sam. So if you guys want something like that, hold on one second. Yay! Appreciate that. Mr. Elliott came in, and he does Cash App because YouTube takes 30% of donations. Thank you very much, Jeff. Everybody give Jeff a thumbs up and a number 1 in the chat because he came in and helped me out. Mine still doesn't show the $sign for monetize on full videos, only lives. Strange. So if you email me a screenshot of your dashboard on a long form video, it could take a little bit of time too. You said you just got monetized. I can't remember because I got monetized way back when before they put in that stupid 1,000 subscribers, 4,000 watch hours bullshit. But they also have the ability, they also have different rules for like lives, shorts, and long form. So let me know. You're welcome. Thanks for the show. Oh, thank you, dude, because his food gets expensive. So Rocky eats better than I do. He eats more often than I do, and he eats more of my food than I do. So, yeah, you guys are supporting my dog habit. Some people have a drug habit. I have a dog habit. Okay, thanks, Jimmini. No problem, dude. Also, everybody, Desert Armory and more. He's got some wicked stuff in his backgrounds. I haven't been in every live obviously yet, but he's got some wicked stuff that he shows. So go over there and check out his lives. Also, you get to talk with other like-minded individuals. One thing I'm a proponent of And I highly recommend to everybody watching me, watch multiple people, especially if you're looking for information. I have a lot of people that tell me they'll buy a gun based solely on my recommendations. That's awesome. I'm happy that you trust me with that. But also, if Desert does a video on it, go watch his. PewView does a video on it, go watch his. I've been saying the Match X is one of my favorite guns since I got it. But because PewView has 1.7 million subscribers, he gets the point across better than I can. So that's why I'm doing. Yes, he does. I was in there for a minute and he's calling me out. So everybody support everybody. Here's the thing about YouTube also, okay? YouTube and Google, they're a multi-billion-dollar company, probably a trillion-dollar company at this point in their existence. They have enough money to pay everybody. So if you want to support more than one guy that reviews guns, please do. Also, if the gun sphere gets way more subscribers than, say, kids looking at toys and stupid shit, eventually Google will stop being assholes. They won't, but we can hope. Hey, thank you, Desert Armory. Dumb question. When I hit 50 subscribers, what's the next amount for what's next? Hope that makes sense. Green Hood. So, 50 subscribers is the threshold for live streaming. Once you can live stream, then I think that's when people can start donating. Possibly. I don't know. Again, I didn't start live streaming until I already had like 75,000 subscribers. After that, so shorts videos you can monetize. I think if you get like, what is it, 10 million views in a month or some weird number like that, because you have to have viral videos. Long form video monetization, you have to have 1,000 subscribers with a total of 4,000 watch hours within 1 calendar year. So, or not 1 calendar year, 1 year from your whatever, from you starting the channel. Thanks for helping me out. No problem, dude. You look tired. I'm kind of still recovering from the drive. So I left Monday at 4 o'clock, got to Connecticut at just after midnight, sacked out for like 6 hours, but I really didn't sleep well. Long drives do that to me. I don't sleep well. So I wound up sitting on my phone for like 4 hours of that 6 hours. So I got like 2 hours of sleep, woke up, got dressed, went to the funeral. Because I was part of the family and I was greeting everybody with my dad. I had to be there. We left the house at like 8, so we got there. So I then had to drive, it's another 35, 45-minute drive to there. Then we did the whole funeral thing and up, down, Christian funerals. Went to the park afterwards and I literally drove straight back home. So I had about 2 hours of rest between driving up and driving home. And then I got home and it was raining like a mother father in Pennsylvania. So coming through Pennsylvania, it was so bad. And the Charger has cheap tires on it. The dealership put new tires on them, but they're super cheap tires. So they were losing traction like a mother ducker. So every time I hit any kind of stretch of water, dude, the whole car would like... Luckily, I'm used to that kind of driving. I used to drive a race car on the street. So I had to drive that home. So that took a lot out of me in terms of energy. And then today I've been trying to run around and take care of business and stuff. So between everything I got going on, I've had like 4 hours of sleep in the last 3 days. What are your thoughts on the Ross Martin 9mm? Every chain store selling them cheap. They're a clone-ish. There are some differences in the Ross, especially in the slides. But from what I understand, if you get a good one, they're good. If you get a bad one, they're catastrophic. So you just got to get the luck of the draw. But that's the same way with a Taurus, a Smith & Wesson SD9 V2, although they're pretty damn reliable, or a friggin' dagger. A freaking Palmetto State dagger could be a terrible gun for you, or you could have one that never has a misfire. Sam, how you doing today? It's a lot of driving, and driving takes the energy out of me. Well, it also does for me because I realize, and it's something we all do in the dark, but we don't blink as much. And like, I'll drive for 20 minutes without realizing that I've blinked twice. Your eyes stay open, and when you're driving in the rain, it makes it even more apparent that you're tired because it drags it out of you. Wop, wop. Why are you talking about guns? I don't know. Because you're cool? I don't know if you noticed, but I subscribed to you. It doesn't show that in the chat logs, but if you ever leave a comment and stuff, I see who's publicly subscribed to me. If you're subscribed to me, thank you very much. I appreciate that one. Dang, I just missed the answer to the Rosie Martin. Manuel, like I said, they're hit and miss. I've heard good things about them. I've heard they're trash. So you've got to understand that you're paying a lower amount for a firearm. There's always a chance that that lower priced firearm will have issues. So just be careful. Hey man, how's it going? Levi, long time brother. Thomas, they never told us that in the Army about the blinking. Most people don't realize it. Like, when you play video games, you don't blink as much. When you do anything that requires more focus with your eyes don't blink because your brain is telling your eyes to focus. And when you try to focus your eyes, like right now, if you squint and try to look at something, you're not blinking. You're going to hold your eyes open for that entire time. The only time that we consciously know that we're blinking is when we try to not blink. It's one of those things. It's kind of funny. Right now, hold your eyes open. Keep your eyes open. Don't touch them, but try to just do that, okay? I guarantee you that within seconds of forcing your eyes open, they're starting to get dry and burn, right? You're starting to feel it. You're like, it stings. But when you're driving at night, you don't blink. Blinking causes so when you blink, you're blocking the light from the sensors in your eyes. You know, your retinas aren't getting the light. So when you open them, they have to readjust. So your body naturally stops blinking in order to help you keep focus. Should I buy a BCM upper in my high-end rifle? Thinking about spending $4,000 for the whole setup. Edgar, absolutely. Bravo Company makes excellent stuff. Bravo Company, LWRC, Knights Armament, they're all exceptional parts manufacturers. What's the favorite gun that I have? Currently, my Para Ordnance Black Ops 1911, my daily carry. I don't show my loaded guns because just don't, but there's plenty of videos on the channel about it. Saw some Ross 5 magazines and a Savior bag for less than $5. Yeah, exactly, dude. Why are you gay? Everybody's gay for something. I'm gay for women. I'm a lesbian. Curry, it's okay if you don't like what I have up there. I've also got, the DWX and a lot of 2011s and shit. The reason why I have stuff like that is so that I can complain about them. I'm a firm believer if you don't own a product, you can't say shit about them. So, and there's nothing wrong with having a KS7 up there. Yeah. Think about it this way, dude. John Wick used a KSG in the first John Wick. Those are cool airport guns. They're not airport guns. Been busy working on my 1911s, completely refinished. Has a new Series 80 slide that's been hand-fitted, a new hand-fitted stainless steel barrel. Holy shit, man. That thing must be, like, on rails. Now I know you can't hear with the helmet on at night like you can during the day. I have to turn down my radio in order to read signs. I'm a lesbian in a man's body. What's up? Been a minute. How you doing? Alex, pretty good, dude. How you doing? The sloth uses its bare paws, man. That thing, his cohort is right here. So that's Milo. This is Shiloh. Shiloh doesn't have a tag on her. So Milo's the boy, Shiloh's the girl, and that's Greg. So this is Greg. Yeah, so Greg is the Beanie Baby sloth. And then, well, fuck me, that went right in the trash. Drunk Mouse made me one, but it fell off the computer. Also, Jimmy John's, still one of the best sandwiches out there for the price. You have a less lethal pistol. Yes, it's called the Chiappa M922. It doesn't fire anymore. Only weapon I have is a Winchester 12 gauge. There you go. Hi, Rocky. How do you hear ham? I thought you hated Chiappas. I do. That's why I said it doesn't work. Unfortunately, John, I do not know much about the Remingtons at all because I am not a long gun guy. I like them when they're tactical. Just finished a 7-day water fast, feeling pretty light other than my 9mm weighing me down. Dude, a 7-day fast is pretty damn hardcore, dude. Good for you. Damn you, Jimmy Johns. Yeah. Burner seems good. So here's the thing. Here's my take on less lethal. I live in a state that doesn't restrict you when it comes to buying firearms. Other than if you don't have a CCW, you can only buy one handgun a month. A lot of people only buy one handgun in their life. Number two, I have a CCW, so I can carry a regular firearm. My feelings are, I would rather carry a firearm and have overwhelming firepower than carry a less lethal option and worry about an attacker. If somebody's coming at me with a knife, another gun, or even if they're bigger than me, which doesn't happen often, I'm 6'4", 225 pounds, but when somebody comes after me and I'm going to try to stop the threat, I want the threat to stop. You know, I'm sorry if that offends like the vegans in the crowd, but if somebody's threatening my life, I'm not going to worry about their feelings when I shoot them. God damn, the carbonation and the nucleation in Sprite is so ridiculous that it can bubble over just from opening it. Three-day wait is a violation of your rights, man. But I get it. Dude, no one's going after you. They're not. But my thinking is, I own a gun store for one, so gun stores get hit from time to time. I live in a good neighborhood, but I sometimes travel to places that aren't quite good. So I would rather have my firearm and not need it than need my firearm and not have it. That's my personal opinion. You can have yours. I haven't had Sprite in a long time. I drink the zero sugar stuff, obviously. This stuff actually, zero sugar, when Coke came out with the zero lineup, it's so much better than the diet lineup. What about felons? Is Byrna a good option? So you can carry Byrnas. You can also carry black powder guns if you're a felon. If you're a violent felon with a criminal history of violence, using anything, a prosecutor is going to go after you because prosecutors are assholes and that's their job, is to be assholes. But in terms of needing some sort of protection, yes, a pepper ball gun that fires pepper balls, rubber balls, mace, whatever, is going to help you protect yourself. What's my thought on revolvers versus automatics? So I have only a couple of revolvers, and the reason I do is because I am a semi-automatic fan. I got into guns at the age of 38-ish. And because of that, I am not locked into, I like old guns, I only like new guns, I only like this gun. I like mechanically interesting guns. So a gun like the Utica 6 would be a cool one because that gun is a self-loading revolver. But if it doesn't have a swing-out cylinder, unless it's a Heritage, I'm not a fan of revolvers. I don't like single-action Army. I prefer a swing-out cylinder so I can load it quicker. Mountain Dew Zero Sugar is actually pretty good. Yeah, so the stuff they use to simulate sugar in sodas nowadays is so good. Rather than be caught with it than without. Yeah, I got the unfortunate luck of living in a red flag law state, which Indiana, and I currently live there, and I hate it. So Virginia is a red flag state, but there are things that you have to consider. Now, somebody that's an idiot and a moron and an asshole and just doesn't like you, if they're going to do something illegal, they're going to do it regardless. Calling in a false red flag on somebody is tantamount to filing a false police report. It can be prosecuted as a false police report because it requires the police to come out. You can't just go to a judge and say my neighbor is a danger to himself and has guns. It requires a police intervention or interview before it can even proceed past that point. So if you live in a red flag state, you can't just get red flagged. It requires steps. It's not as easy as people think. Now, the police are going to err on the side of caution until they decide otherwise. But if the police were to show up at my place because somebody said I was a danger to myself or doing something, I can demonstrate via my training videos, my videos at the range, the way I handle firearms, the fact that I have a good doggo, that I am not a danger. So even if somebody tried to say I was a danger to myself or in society, a police officer would make that judgment before the court gets involved. Good neighborhoods are where criminals go. They don't rob people in bad neighborhoods. As long as it's a neighborhood that is good enough. What I mean by that is I live in a nice neighborhood. I don't live in McMansionville in this area. I live in under McMansionville. So they're going away from where I am. I had left my keys in the cup holder in plain view in a $50,000 Challenger for a week, and nobody stole the car. Don't break into this dude's house. Oh, break into my house all you want, dude. I got a dog that's going to bite your ass, and then I'm going to shoot you in the face with the shotgun. I won't carry my burger. No, I agree with that. It's the first time I've tuned in on a gun channel. Well, appreciate that, Thomas. I'm different from most gun channels. I'm not here for shock value. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to promote a political agenda. I don't follow politics outside of understanding what's going on in the news. So I try to be different. What do you think people should have stash and stack on guns in nomination? What? What about McManusville? Yeah, so McManusville is where he is. Damn, dude, I live in the hood. Sorry. The whole point of having guns is that no one wants to break into your house because of the risk of you losing your life. Sam, not really. I get where you're coming from. Using a gun for self-protection and people knowing that you're armed is a bit of a deterrent, but that's not the real purpose of guns. Guns are nothing more than a ballistic tool. A gun does what the person holding it commands it to do. So it can either be used to save a life or it can be used to take a life. It can be used in sport, it can be used in hunting, it can be used in criminal activities, it can be used for the simple act of being hung on a wall and looked at. So a gun in and of itself has no purpose. It's just like when we anthropomorphize with our vegetables or our animals. We put the meaning behind what a thing does. Khaled, I didn't answer your question because I don't understand it. Oh, do I think people should stash on guns and ammo? That's up to you as a person, man. If you want to be, if you're comfortable with firearms, you're competent with firearms, and you want to hold on to a bunch of guns and ammo because you think you might need them at some point, by all means, do it, man. I'm not one of those guys that looks at people that wear body armor at the range and goes, haha, you're a fucking loser. I'm looking at them going, well, that's what they want to do. I don't train that way. I don't wear body armor. I've never worn body armor. I train for if somebody walks into my gun store when I'm not wearing body armor, how do I react? If you're in a shit hits the fan situation, like a true one, if a nuke falls on Washington, D.C., where I live, we have about 15 minutes to get to safety. Either find a place with no windows that we can hunker down in to get away from fallout, or try to drive away, which you're never going to be able to do. So in that 15 minutes, I'm not going to worry about putting on a fucking vest. I'm going to worry about hunkering down and getting out from nuclear fallout. I'm going to worry about setting up my place so that I don't have to worry about some fucktard breaking into it because they're trying to kill me. So I'm going to worry about the armor later. Everybody should learn their 2A and practice. Yes. It's better that they don't know you have one. Oh, outside of YouTube, you know what? This is a reinforced building. I don't give a fuck that people know I have guns. But when I'm out in public, you never see my gun. You don't know that I'm carrying a gun. You'll never know I'm carrying a gun unless you give me a reason to pull it out. So I got 630 in just parts for my 1911 and around 2 weeks of work. Damn, nice, Levi. Have you ever put butter on a Pop-Tart? No, but that sounds good, Christopher. Everyone should practice their 2A. Yep. What's the suppressed 1911? That is a TSOS Night Stalker double stack 1911. I'm too fat for body armor. You know, you just have to be a better shot than the guy wearing it. Khaled, thank you. You're welcome, sir. I did fail to mention when you said earlier in my argument I did not know kind of fall flat on his face a second. I failed to mention that. No, and again, Sam, I'm not saying that you are inherently wrong with what you believe guns are for. I try to keep as level-headedness as I can when it comes to the discussion. I would do the same thing with somebody who says a gun is adamantly for a weapon of war, a weapon only designed for hunting, a weapon designed only for personal protection. The reason behind something's creation does not have to define its existence. If I was the product of a broken condom, does that mean I'm just a broken condom? No, I'm still me. Bad analogy, but you get where I'm coming from. You have a 12 gauge. Damn, double stack, love it. Thank you. How are the T-Sauce? T-Sauces are much better than they were a few years ago. If you go back earlier on my channel, I looked at back when they used to import them under the Zig brand, ZIG. I used to complain about them a lot because they had poor fit and finish and they had terrible triggers. They've come a long way. Are they as good as a Rock Island out of the box? Yeah. Are they as good as a Nighthawk? No. Can they be? Yes. That Gerson has been massaged and modified to within an inch of its life. Has very few original parts in it. But it's also good enough of a build quality that it can take parts. That's a big deal. Snucka, what's up? You have a Rock Army 1911 and 10 millimeter. It's pretty sweet, but it's only a single stack. That's perfectly fine, dude. I like single stacks for carry. I like double stacks for carry. I like them all, dude. Gotten older, I realize life is, and if people falls apart, we shall see. Level-headed gun guys are rare, but do you boys? Your keyboard is having a stroke. I don't know if I read that all right. I always wanted the M14 with the folding stock. Childhood Ace Team vibes. Yes. I got rid of the folding stock, and I now have the Sharps Brothers Heat Seeker chassis because I'm more of an AR-15 modern aesthetic kind of guy. I do have to put a better optic on there. A company reached out to me. I might put a 6-24 by 50 on there, which will be insane. Smallest gun. I have a 1903 pocket hammerless that was manufactured in 1907. Is a Glock Model 40 a good carry? Well, it's a 10 millimeter, so you're carrying a hot round. It's also a Glock, so it will run, it will do the job, but you also have to live your life knowing that you're carrying a Glock. What pocket 380 do you recommend? I would recommend the Ruger Light Rack 380. I would recommend the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0 380. I would recommend the Browning Black Label 380, except it's $800, so I'm not recommending it. If you don't say I understand, but do you carry more than one? If so, do you ever carry an ankle holster? I do not carry an ankle holster. I'm very disabled. I do not have the physical abilities to be quick enough to worry about an ankle holster. I carry enough rounds to capably handle a single threat. But I carry one gun. What's wrong with carrying a Glock? They're boring as shit. Again, first part of that whole sentence I said, they're reliable, they work, they're dependable, it's going to save your life. If that's all you care about. But me as a modern semi-autoloader pistol guy, I would much rather tune a 1911 to make it as reliable as a Glock. And then I'll have a 1911, which has a much better trigger, much better sights out of the box, even for outside of a GI model. But I would rather spend my money on something that isn't twice the price it should be. When people ask me all the time, I always give the same answer. If Glocks were $300, I would never say a bad word about them. But they're trying to get premium money for a mediocre gun. I'm a SIG guy. Nothing wrong with that. You carry a spare magazine. Thoughts on that in general? I do, Jesse, because I carry a single stack 1911, 8+1. So I like to have an extra 8 rounds just in case. The average self-defense shooting in the United States, based on the last known data, was an average of 5 to 7 shots at the most. Typically, 3 shots are actually more common than even 7 shots. But having that spare mag gives me the ability to reload after the event, so I'm not sitting there with the magazine with 1 round in it. So yes, I carry 1 spare magazine. I don't carry more than that. If I'm carrying a gun that has 17 rounds, if for some reason I'm stupid and carrying a Glock 34, I'll just run with 17 rounds. CW, what's up? Is that a stock barrel on the 1022? Glad I'm able to catch the live. No, it is the Target. That is the 1022 Target. So it is a factory barrel, but it's not the stock style. It's not the pencil style. That was the gun that was in the A-Team side folding chassis. I took it out and sold that chassis, and John at Sharps Brothers sent me the Heat Seeker chassis, so I now have 3 Sharps Brothers style guns. I have the Echelon, the RXM, and the Heat Seeker chassis 1022, and I'm going to put a bipod on it and a 6 to 24 by 50 optic on it and see if I can hit out at 300 yards cold with it. Trent, he's good, but he's been working all the time. I'll be right back. I'm going to take a shower. All right, dude, think of me. I always upgrade my trigger and sight. So, yeah, but the problem is, and again, this is why I say, if Glock's worth $300, no complaints. But a $500 gun, the Glock 17 Gen 5, for example, a $500 gun that has plastic-ass sights and a shit trigger, that you automatically, you put a set of True Glows on there, $120 for a set of sights. Now your gun is $650. And then you put a Timney trigger in there, $110. Now you're at $780 for a plastic fantastic piece of shit, in my opinion, that is mediocre at best because the way it runs is by having shit tolerances. $800 for a plastic gun or $800 for a 1911 with a 3.5-pound trigger and usually a fiber optic sight at that price. You can even get TSOS stuff. You can get the BR9 double stack duty optics cut with the fiber optic front sight on it for $800. I would rather have a 1911 in 9mm double stack over a fucking Glock any day of the week. Did you get your Gerson Brat? No. Something has happened in the gun world. I'm not sure why. Either the fact that I've been taking time off for myself, which is probably the big thing because they do check your channels and shit. But because I've been taking time because my uncle died, my store's been a little bit wonky, and I've been just trying to take care of things. Since I got Rocky, my upload schedule dropped because I've been trying to train Rocky to be my service dog. Yeah, they aren't responding anymore. So I'm not throwing any shade or animosity towards any company that is not responding right now. I get it. But no, they promised me a gun and they have not delivered. Bursa is the same way. I signed the agreement to do reviews on their new 2011, but because they wanted PewView, Honest Outlaw, some of the bigger guys to do their review first, they put me on the back burner. As I age with disabilities, I'm becoming a pocket guy. I carried appendix, had a huge callus tummy, integrating to be a pocket bro. Obi agrees with me. Do I like the Walther PDP? It's a great shooting gun with an excellent trigger. I hate the way it looks. It's way too top heavy. Let's see. Thoughts on PSA Dagger? They're fine. PSA Daggers, the reason I can say they're fine when they're just a Gen 3 Glock clone is because they're anywhere from $230 to $300. They are the price Glock should be. Google got that wrong. Google got what wrong? My nephew was going to buy a Glock. I talked him into the Ruger RXM. The reason I recommend the RXM over the Glock, number one, it's $399. So it's at least $100 cheaper. When you're looking at a Gen 5 Glock 19 MOS, because you have to get a Gen 5 to get the MOS, you're looking at a Gen 5 Glock 19 MOS, $589. The RXM, optics cut, available with threaded barrels, but optics cut and a removable chassis system, $400. You buy a Sharps Burroughs frame for $330, right? Put that in there. You're at about $750. Like my RXM with my optic and the grip and the trigger that I have in it now is like a $1,300 gun. It's stupid expensive. Don't fucking do that. But my RXM, if you just put a Sharps Brothers chassis on it, then you have about $700 into it, and it's a much better gun than a Glock at $600. Sorry to hear about your uncle. Thank you, Knowledge. When you learn you better do better, you get a Glock 20. I love it. Didn't love the price. Again, when it comes to reliability, ease of maintenance, and knowing that the gun is going to get you home, yes, I agree. It is absolutely hard to beat a Glock. However, as an enthusiast, if you are capable of tuning a gun, making sure that a gun has been broken in properly, that a gun doesn't have any glaring faults from the factory, if you have those minor abilities, which any real gun enthusiast should, then any gun can wind up as dependable as a Glock. Dude, a Glock 26 is like $550. Yeah, and it's outdated, old, doesn't shoot good. You know about Phoenix Arms, because I'm having trouble loading and firing the rounds. I don't know if the magazine is messed up or if it's something else. I can't diagnose a gun without seeing it. Phoenix Arms are cheap guns, so there is always a possibility. I know they rack really difficultly, but yeah, you could have a magazine issue, could be a feed ramp issue, could be an extractor issue. My uncle's late one day for an appointment. I want to check on you, feel you. Loss has been very common with me. We have a huge family, not so many anymore. Yeah, I'm 45 years old. I'm going to be 46 in a month. My parents and their generation, it's their time now. So as that happens, more and more of my family's going to die. Is that a Prodigy I see behind you on the wall? No, sir. The black one is a Gerson. What's the best pistol to purchase for my first firearm? Should I also get a shotgun for home defense? Your budget will dictate what you wind up with. Fury, I don't make personalized choices for anybody I've never met before. I will tell you the best thing to do. The best thing to do is go to a gun store. Try a bunch of different guns to see what fits well. If that gun store has a range, rent the gun and shoot it. If you have a range in your area that has that gun, before you buy that gun, go and shoot one. I can tell you what's reliable. Glock, reliable. Smith & Wesson M&P series, very reliable. Canic, very reliable. FN, don't recommend because their plastics are shit. Walther PDP, all those are wonderful, reliable guns. And if you want a shotgun for home defense, absolutely do that as well. I don't recommend buying the cheapest thing on the planet, but I also don't recommend overspending on it either. So keep that in mind. Small frame revolvers, not really. The airweights always come to mind, the ultralights and the airweights. Living your dream, nice. Always have a shotgun as well. Yeah. Is that a KS7? Good eye, yes. That is the single tube Keltec KS7. What's a good starter AR-15? Budget is going to determine what you consider a starter gun, but if we're talking about like an average price gun, 500-ish, Diamondback and Radical Firearms. And when you start climbing, though, you will notice an exponential growth in terms of features and quality. Around $1,000, you can get something. You can usually find them on sale, an FN 15, or a Smith & Wesson M&P Sport 3 with the free floating handguard is an excellent choice. Fury says thanks, no problem, man. Trigger recommendation for a PSA Dagger Compact. So they are compatible with all Gen 3 triggers. So I like Steel City Arsenal. You can get them on eBay for about $90. But I also have a Timney trigger in my RXM. So Timney, I think Geisley even makes a Glock trigger. But Timney for sure. Steel City Arsenal, I've had a lot of great luck. They're dropping. What's a good 2011? Depends on where, again, your price range is going to determine what you're going to get. So in terms of lower price guns, Gerson and TSOS make the two best entry-level 2011s. The Gerson Match X is one of my personal favorites. The TSOS, the BR9 Duty is like a $700 2011. Uses Checkmate mags, very nice guns. The Gen 2 with the bull barrel is like $850, very nice guns. You're going to need to spend a little bit of money when you buy those guns, or at least a little bit of time. Hello, Reaper. Arrows uppers on sale for $300 to $500 right now if I look into piecing together. Yeah. Staccato guy? No, I actually don't like Staccato at all. I don't like the company. Because I don't like the company, by extension, I don't like the guns. Their XC is $4,500 without an optic. I have the STI Grandmaster, which is a $5,000 gun that originally cost $2,500 back when Staccato was STI before they branched out and decided to make duty style firearms. So at the end of the day, no, I'm not a Staccato guy. Same problem I have with them, I have with Glock and a few other companies. They're too expensive for what they're giving you. What adapter should I use for the Alpha Romulus? To do what? What's your favorite gun? 1911s are my favorite guns. I just like a gun that functions well. I don't care who makes it, honestly. Raul, what's up? Yama. What is your best gun? It's a very subjective question. My Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911 is one of my best guns. It's my daily carry. It's been slightly modified. It has an amazing trigger, and it goes bang every time I've shot it. Might not be yours. Hey, Jimmini, how you broski? How's the dog? Doggo is good. Doggo is sleeping, so I can't really call him over here because he looks almost relaxed. Reason for a threaded barrel on a handgun just to get a suppressor? No, so that's not the only reason, Joe. You can also put a compensator, a muzzle brake. So, no, I wouldn't say it's just to get a suppressor. I would actually say it's more common to see like a threaded barrel comp on a gun these days than it is a suppressor. Let sleeping dogs lay. Oh, don't you worry. I will smack them on the ass when it's time to go to bed. You like Tokarevs? I like real Tokarevs. I don't like the Tokarev USA stuff because it's just cheap knockoff stuff. But yeah, original Tokarevs like TT33s and stuff, yes. I had a pre-1964 Tokarev TT33. It's what I ND'd into a wall. I heard it brought up before. I don't know if it's been on here, though. What are your thoughts on upgrades, aftermarket parts on a carry gun? Have you heard both sides? Just picking your brain. Yes, I've heard both sides, and I have given my opinion. I will give you my opinion again. When it comes to modifying a carry gun, it depends on where you are, and unfortunately, it can be a little bit of a pigment question, too. I really don't mess with my triggers too much on like a striker-fired carry gun. But if I were to decide to carry a Glock, the first thing I'm doing is changing the sights. But if you put in a race-style trigger, let's say you put in the FRT into your Glock 34 or your Glock 17 because you want to run a drumming, that can be looked upon as potentially inciting or looking for reasons to use excessive force, or you're looking for a reason to draw that gun versus a stock trigger in a Glock, for example. What I would say to that is, if your first thoughts, and I'm not saying this is what you're saying, CW, but if your first thoughts when you buy a gun is, I'm going to buy this gun and then I'm going to spend $400 to modify it, my recommendation, especially since Glocks are so expensive, Glocks, take that money, take that $700, $800, $900 and just buy the upgraded gun. Buy a gun with a better trigger. Buy a Walther PDP Pro. Buy a PDP Compact. Buy a Canik Meta MC9 or Meta SFT. Buy the gun that you would be turning your gun into before you modify it, then you avoid that problem. And a lot of times YouTube gives a biased image about things, so when you look up gun violence or how to deal with cops or etc., you're going to get flooded with one side or the other. A prosecutor has a job to prosecute crime. That's what he does. Depending on the situation, depending on the facts, the minutia of the shooting, that will determine whether or not he's going to look for other reasons to charge you. Some people will say don't drive a Crown Victoria or don't buy a Taurus Interceptor nowadays. A Crown Vics, that's dating myself. But if you do things that make you look like you're trying to imitate a police officer, a prosecutor can use that against you. Modifying the gun, that can be used against you. Using the exact same ammo that the police use can also be used against you. I want fancy triggers, but I don't have enough to make a range toy, so instead I got one use and I can't afford Sorry. Piece of lettuce. Can't afford a custom go fast trigger. You don't need one, man. Train with what you got. Thanks for that perspective. No problem, dude. Am I a fan of Kimber? Yes, I am a fan of Kimber. I like Kimbers. 30-minute home defense session against unknown elite special forces. You can only bring 2 of your guns. Which are you choosing? My 37 millimeter grenade launcher and my Mossberg 930 tactical. Can you tell me what's the second one down from the top of the wall directly in back of you? It's black with the scope. That is a Ruger 1022 in a Sharps Brothers, SHARPS, BROS, so Brothers, Heat Seeker chassis. So it's a 1022 that's been taken out of its standard wood stock and put into a aluminum body. I like peanut butter, yep. Good advice, buy the fastest gun that's stock. Yeah, exactly. If that's what you're after, buy something that's already done. That's my opinion. Kat, what is up? Gonna try to get to Front Royal tomorrow. I don't think we're gonna make it. I might just walk them around the other part of the park and just let them poop there. We love Rocky. We love Rocky. My daily is a modified Taurus G3C. Some people make fun of me, but I've had it over 6 years, not one malfunction. I bought those when they first came out. The G2C, the G3C, the G3. Between those 3 guns, I have probably about 7,000 rounds through the 3 guns in total. And I probably had 1 or 2 failures in 6,000 or 7,000 rounds. So people making fun of you for what you carry is stupid. Unless it's a Glock, you're fucking stupid. No, I'm just kidding. But don't, like you said, you've been carrying for 6 years, so you obviously don't take that negativity negatively. But yeah, a Taurus, especially the G2, G3, and Millennium lines, they're double strike capable. If the gun doesn't go off, you just keep pulling the trigger like a revolver. It's actually awesome. You know what I mean? I can't risk a lawyer triggering for the fun few I got. I get what you mean, dude. Nice, damn, wow. Thank you, Florida girl. How's Rocky? Rocky's good. He's sleeping. My buddy underfed him while he had him, so I made up for it today. He was hungry when we got home last night. When I got him home from my buddy's house, he had them from Monday night until Tuesday when I got him. He actually went in and started eating his dry food willingly. You bought the Taurus GX4 and sold it. My grip kept hitting the mag release. That happens on a lot of smaller guns. I can understand that. I've never seen you eat peanut butter on stream before. Maverick, I don't eat peanut butter on stream because I'm allergic to peanut butter. Thanks for letting me hang. And Rocky, always really nice recognizing real people, make fun, but they don't have to live our life. I get it, Joshua, and I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the time you take to try to enjoy some time with us. Thank you for liking Rocky. It's amazing how many people love Rocky. If I was into 800-year-old women, I could have my fill because of Rocky. Found like 3 guns randomly in the house of my mom's. One looks like an antique or something and has a barrel you roll or whatever. That could be something that's pretty cool. You should send me pictures. Hey, look, it's the guy who doesn't like body armor. I never said I don't like body armor. I said I don't train for body armor. Big difference. So Gabriel Firearms, look, it's the guy who doesn't know what I said. Like I said, I don't train that way because I don't have a reason to train that way. I live close enough to a potential nuclear attack zone that I need to spend that 15 minutes getting the fuck away. But if you want to practice in it and you wear your vest all day, go for it. A nut allergy. Yeah, dude. Anytime nuts get near my face, I swell up and I can't handle it. Kiki decided to eat catfish again today only because Akira also wanted it. That's funny. So Cece has a new thing that she's doing. She likes to horse underneath your legs. Always like you too, bro. 800-year-old women love us. Oh yeah, some of them are actually. Fuck, look at Helen Mirren, dude. I'd go out with her once. I'm back nice and clean. That's nice. Jesse, that's what she said. Dude, I don't know what to buy on Amazon. You could always buy 600 rolls of triple ply toilet paper. Okay, am are you? You mean how am I? I'm good, Homer. Thank you. Except I almost yanked a booger out of my nose just now. That would have been interesting. Look, Mouse, if you can't be viciously compliant with needs, what fun are you really having? 500-gallon drum of lube? Dude, that would take a truck to deliver. That would be awesome. You'll have to buy the truck with it. Incognito, what's up? No, I'm all for it, dude. 500 gallons or get the fuck out, dude. You got to get like one of those porta potty trucks filled with lube. Dude, you show up with that and they're going to be like, is this the P. Diddy special? Although I heard they discontinued that line because of P. Diddy. The judge is being unfair, sentencing him to 50 months for prostitution. No. He sentenced him to 50 months for prosecution because he knew that that fucker was guilty of the other shit. How old were you when you realized you couldn't have peanuts? It was actually, I didn't have a whole lot of peanuts when I was younger because I grew up with my Korean mother, so not a lot of our food had peanut stuff. Like, Korean kimchi has fish oil, not peanut oil. So it was probably in my teens when I first discovered I had the allergy. Ideas for a carry gun for a 5-foot-tall woman. She likes 22s, but I'm unsure about stopping power. Jose, look at the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard 2.0. It is 10 and 12 round capable, 380, and it's about the same size as your 22. So, Sam, interestingly enough, I am a self-made person and a self-discovering person. I have taught myself so much anatomy, so much medical, just be... Sorry about that. I've taught myself tons of medical stuff because I've spent a large portion of my life, from the age of 6, I used to wind up in the hospital all the time. I've spent so much of my life in hospitals dealing with shit doctors. For every good doctor, there's going to be a shit doctor. And I've had the luck of the Irish but in reverse. So that would be the luck of the Turkish, in that I've never had great doctors. I've always had wonderful nurses, but most doctors are fucking idiots who think they know everything. When people jokingly say doctors have a God complex, it's the truth, dude. Fucking doctors think they shit gold until you tell them they're wrong. Dang, burp interruptions. They scary. Also, I'm trying not to pass out right now. 10 years ago, I was going to buy a Mosin Nagant. Well, telling up yesterday, they're $500 now. I'm kicking myself. Yep. I recently bought a couple of them for $500, and I still felt that was way too much. What kind of pegs are those that you are using to hold your firearms? Are they rubber coated? Thank you. There's 2 different kinds up there. So there are some metal hooks underneath, like the shotgun and the heavier guns. Those are not coated. I'm just careful when I put them up. And then most of the other guns are actually being supported by plastic hooks. You don't need super heavy duty hooks for handguns because they're not that heavy. Now, if it was a Desert Eagle, I'd be using these. But for the most part, these plastic hooks are sufficient. That gun with that suppressor on it weighs about 48 ounces, which is about 3 pounds. And these are plenty. I got my Mosin for $200. It's from 1943. Came with a bayonet. Or you get a hospital bill showing doctors charging for things that weren't even done, or for a 2-second visit to your room. Yes, so when I had kidney failure, I am diabetic. When I had kidney failure, I was eating like shit. So I triggered what was called diabetic ketoacidosis, DKA. I had heat stroke the year before. So I've had kidney failure twice in 1 year. Now it's been 18 months. So in the last 18 months, I've had kidney failure twice. The first time was because I got so dehydrated and overheated that my body was literally shutting down. I went into full renal failure twice. The doctor, because I was in DKA, assumed that my previous event was TKA and started giving me shit. The minute a doctor starts telling me what's wrong with me without talking to me, this motherfucker I talked to twice for less than a minute. This motherfucker starts putting in orders and instructions based on what he thought my chart said. He didn't even read the fucking chart. He just thought he knew what my chart said. So I instantly got on the phone with my hospital advocate, filed a complaint against the doctor, and demanded a new doctor. So, yes, a lot of them are stupid. I just got a Boundcraft TRP 18-inch bullpup. Hold on, what is a Boundcraft? Boundcraft. Ah, so you bought something Turkish. You also bought a Tokarev USA bullpup 12 gauge or a G-Force Arms. They're all made by the same company. Let me see if I can zoom in on this. There's nothing wrong with what you did either. Please understand, I am in no way saying there was anything wrong with what you did. I can't read the side of it, but I'm assuming it was made by Daria or another company in Turkey. That is perfectly fine. For $200, I mean, if it works for a week, that is definitely worth it. Why do you have so many guns? Am I a retailer? Well, I am a gun tuber, a reviewer, but I'm also a hobbyist, an enthusiast, and a collector. Yeah, I wish like 10 years in the past. Yeah. Why are silencers prohibited? Is the sound more important than the projectile? They're not prohibited, they're just federally controlled. Good for you, man. Everyone should stand up for themselves like that. Oh, 1,000% Roots. I am a firm believer because I've had so many shitty doctors that think they knew what the fuck they were doing trying to tell me shit. Yeah, I don't listen to any doctor anymore. I will listen to a nurse, a charge nurse, a head nurse, a fucking nurse trainee before I listen to a goddamn doctor anymore. You have a 5.56. Couple of them. Do you have a favorite for your everyday gun? Yes, I use a Para-Ordnance Black Ops 1911. Check it out. For a week, I'm trying to stretch this thing out for my lifetime. So here's the way I will point out to a Turkish shotgun, especially a bullpup semi-auto. You paid $200 for a semi-auto shotgun, so it's going to need to be broken in. Run a lot of high brass through it to break in that spring. That's a very important thing with these semi-auto shotguns that are $200. They need to be broken in. Also, I would say take it apart and check it for like weird burrs in the metal, shit like that. It could potentially last you your lifetime. I've seen a couple of reviews on cheaper shotguns that have gone like 3,000 to 5,000 rounds, but they are very well taken care of. I think Bruce Banner is a doctor. Yes, he is. I know his real name. I know where his office is, and he is actually a doctor, yes. Why do you have so many guns? Because I can, it's my right, and yours corrects it. Well, that's another reason, and if I'm in a snarky mood, that's the one I'll give. But sometimes I just try to be honest and just straightforward with the answers now, just in case somebody's actually asking. We've gotten to the point in terms of subscriber count and base and shit that I want to be a little bit more magnanimous with my answers. Would you fucking scroll? What would be the best lower receiver? Complete lower to start at about $500 AR-15 build. Thanks for the stream and all the advice you give. Rashad, Brian, what's up? I was kind of annoyed when I found out my Winchester SXP was made in Turkey. It's been solid so far. Yeah, unfortunately it is. For a lower for a $500 build, Aero Precision, fuck it. PSA's complete lowers for $150 are perfectly competent, especially since you're going to be putting the gun together. You can pick and choose your parts, but yeah, Aero Precision, Anderson, I know some of those companies are in flux right now, and then PSA. Would you trust Bruce to be your doctor? No. I don't trust any dude to be my doctor. How many assault rifles do you have? That number is 0. I own a lot of sporting rifles. Collecting guns is fun. You need a gun to match the fit. You're not wrong, dude. If I'm wearing blue jeans and a t-shirt, it's 1911. If I was wearing a suit, a 1911 might be out of place. Then you carry a PPK. Yeah, exactly. I am literally falling asleep. I am sorry, guys. We're going till 10, like we do lately. That's another thing I want to talk about really quick before we keep going. Halloween stream. If you want me to wear something stupid, I've still got the big fake titties and the catsuit and a bunch of bikinis and shit that people have sent me. So I've got all that weird shit. That's fine. A bikini live stream, 5 hours, $22,000. I'm throwing it out there because I'm going to look like a fucking moron. If you want me to wear some other kind of costume, we'll discuss it. $500. I'll dress up like a lobster. What kind of doctor is Bruce? I don't know if I should be really talking too much about it. He's basically a general practitioner, though. I can say that without being off. Chip challenge. I've got the Toe of Satan. I've got the world's hardest chocolate bar, and I do have the 1 chip challenge again. So I'm willing to do those, but those will still cost you. It'll cost you. I did have the number at $500 to eat the chocolate bar. For $1,000, I'll do all 3 on a live stream. Sounds good about the Halloween stream. Don't tell the stream about Bruce. Well, again, I'm not giving his location. I'm not giving his name. I'm not telling you, the fact that his name is Dr. Marcus Allen from the quaint little town of Bonaventure. Would you use a shoulder holster? I've tried it. It's not comfortable for me. My back is so fucked up that I walk hunched over, so it makes the gun sit funny. Can you protect yourself with a machete, like defend your house, or do you need a gun to do that? I'm just picking your brain, curious to see what your opinion is. I mean, technically, from a legality standpoint, in your home, yes, you can defend with a machete. Carrying a machete in your car is frowned upon. Can I personally defend my house with a machete? Yes, I can, but I'm pretty sure I'll get fucked up in the process. You don't need a gun for protection. Guns are just a force multiplier. So if somebody's coming at you with a knife, having a gun is a larger form of defense. When I'm doing stuff around my house, I like the chest holster for the Desert Eagle. I really need to get a chest holster and a leg holster for the FNX 45. I once carried I carried the Yeet cannon with that suppressor on it in the store in a custom holster once. Oh, did you hear my body crack? Everybody be quiet. He's going to start kicking. Damn it. He heard me. He was doing the running thing. He has so many hardships. Also, that's my dog's penis. But he has so many hardships in his life. You are actually better defending yourself with a gun than a knife in a court of law. I agree. Yeah, if you have the ability to defend yourself with a knife, then you might not have been in a life-threatening situation that didn't require you to defend yourself. But, I guess. Also, here's a little bit of free, unprompted advice. Please do not take this as an absolute, as I am not a lawyer. Also, that is zoomed in like a motherfucker. But if you are involved in a shooting, never say you were taught to shoot to kill. You were shooting to stop the threat. If you're ever at a gun range and you have accident. You had a training accident, not a firearm accident. Yeah, that'll work. Have I ever used a musket or a flintlock? I fired a musket once. My buddy put 8 times the normal charge in it because he's funny. Favorite faction in 40K? I've never played it. What a cute Dr. Doggo. Yeah, he's cool. Do you have a 44 Magnum Desert Eagle? No, I almost bought one at a gun show that I went to with Drunk Mouse, but no, I do not. Words matter. Some do. So I will not say I am a Marine. Got it. You don't have to. We all know that you'll have crayons stuck in your teeth. But yes, words matter. Your phrasing matters. There was a police... Really, dude? You start kicking the minute I put the phone back. You are a jackass. I love you. But there was that cop in Texas, the female cop that had worked like a double or a triple, and she walked into the wrong floor apartment and shot the dude. And when she was on trial and they were interviewing her, she said she was shooting to kill because that's how she was trained. Instantly, she lost her case. Would a baby Desert Eagle be a good first gun? Absolutely, because a baby Desert Eagle is literally a CZ75 clone. How about a 500 Smith & Wesson? Absolutely. I do not have one. The largest handgun I had for the longest time was my 460 XVR Smith & Wesson that I wound up doing through several different trades, winding up with a fucking Canic. I know, I'm stupid. But yeah, I've never had a 500 Smith & Wesson of my own. Critical defense or critical duty? Either one will do the job. Critical duty, correct me if I'm wrong, one of them has the soft plastic inside for ballistics or for aerodynamics. I think that's the defense. But other than that, they both work. No, Brian, you cannot touch guns on live streams. Hatfield, what's up, man? Since we are on the Desert Eagle kick, which chambering would you recommend? Full size, of course. Oh, God. The problem with the Desert Eagle is that it's gas-driven. So if you have cheap 50 AE rounds, you're going to run into issues. So I would probably recommend a 44 Magnum, unless you're just trying to be a big dog, and then you get the 50 cal. Critical defense has a soft fill. Okay, yep. Is there some kind of rubber piece that I can put on my pistol grip 12 gauge that will put some protection against recoil with slugs? On the pistol grip, I mean, you could just get like a Pachmeyer overgrip. They make universal ones, but otherwise, I mean, honestly, if you're holding the grip correctly, the pistol grip correctly, that shouldn't be where your recoil is going. It should be going into your shoulder. And even that shouldn't be going that in your shoulder because you should be holding that fucker tight into your shoulder, man. Is a suppressor legal in all states or different states, different rules? So suppressors are federally controlled, but state laws supersede federal laws. So states like California doesn't even allow threaded barrels, so no suppressors. I'm not 100% sure if they allow an integrally suppressed gun like a Q Honey Badger. But yeah, there are 9 states, I believe, that completely outlaw suppressors and full autos. Still trying to convince my wife to let me send you the Desert Eagle. It was a gift to me from her, and she's just super paranoid about mailing service and thing getting lost. It's happened to her. Yes, and also mailing guns does require a certain different level of paperwork. But I get it, dude. You don't have to send it to me. I appreciate it. The only reason I would want to see your Desert Eagle is because it's your Desert Eagle. I've had the Desert Eagle myself, like owned a Desert Eagle, so I know what a Desert Eagle feels like and shoots like. It would just be cool to see your personal Desert Eagle. Best state to live in and own guns. Dude, the last known survey I think I read was like Wyoming. Lever action rifles. What features and calibers do you like? I like side loading, top ejecting. I'm not a big fan of bottom loading or tube loading. Daria, by the way, guys, go to Daria. They're the ones that sent me the island top for my Daria DY9. Mine was a custom dealer exclusive version from the get-go. But they sent me that island barrel that has the aim win on it right now. So, yes, thank you. But I also like a big loop, which you can get that on a lot of guns now. And in terms of calibers, I am a traditional 30-30 guy. I love the 30-30 cartridge, but I also respect the crap out of like a 357 44 Magnum. You can never have too many guns. Yes, it's true. Yep, that's true. Swoop, what's up? Thoughts on PSA's X57? Also thought on 5.7 as a replacement. 5.7 as a replacement for a 9mm subgun. I don't know if I would consider one as a replacement, but I wouldn't mind having one in the rotation if I could have a full auto one. Because 5.7 by 28 will punch through soft body armor, at least the steel core stuff. Whereas 9mm almost has no chance. Even if you had armor piercing 9, which I've almost never seen, but basically steel core, that's going to have trouble punching through body armor because it's not going fast enough. Everyday carry is a 1911 full size Para Ordnance Black Ops. Wyoming here, it's a free state. There you go. Why are Colt Pythons so expensive? Because the market allows it. I recommend getting a Ruger GP100. You can usually find them used for under $700, so half the price of a Python. Better trigger and honestly better finishes than the modern ones. You have an 1873 Winchester clone in 350. Nice. What about a Russian third war? I don't know. Have I ever shot an Uzi? And if you did, can you rate it? I've never shot a full auto Uzi, so I don't have a good rating for you. The semi-auto ones are so cucked that they're not worth really comparing to anything. I have a 357 lever action. Love it. All slicked up, short stroke. They're nice, man. A good 357 is so pleasant to shoot. I agree. What's the grade of a high technology thermal? What is the grade? In terms of what, sir? You mean like out of 10, what would I rate one? A good thermal is usually around a 7 to me because I don't shoot night. If you're in Alaska with big bears, what would your choice of rifle and sidearm? Minimum 10mm for the sidearm. I would probably go something that I could also carry in a rifle. So I would probably carry something like a 357 or a 44 Magnum. That way you can have a rifle chambered in those. Or if you're going to be carrying a rifle caliber that isn't available in a pistol, then I would say 10mm. So CZ75, they're fine. But like I said, I'm not a big rifle guy, so I do apologize. I also don't have much reason to mess with thermals. I want to check out some of the cheaper thermals that are out there, but I like the pistol thermals. It just Holosun doesn't have any to send me right now. I asked them to send me the DPS, their thermal, and they didn't have any available. It's going to overflow. Dude, the carbonation in Sprite is insane. Look at that. That's just the carbonation. Nucleation and the inside of the bottle equals bubbles. Look at that. Remember when Sprite bottles were green? Yes, I do. Make me feel jealous. I've never shot a gun before. Don't feel jealous, man. A lot of people have never shot a gun. You can enjoy the hobby. You can enjoy the videos without owning a gun. What kind of pup you got? I have a German Shepherd American Staffordshire mix. Here. That is the Rocky. He is a sleepy. Pistol with a wooden handle. The revolver is a Heritage Barkeep. What's your personal favorite silencer for a Glock 19? I actually don't recommend suppressing a Glock. Glocks are notoriously inconsistent with suppressors. I have run my Osprey 9 on Glock 19s before, and they run okay. You definitely need something called a Nielsen device, which is basically just a spring inside of it to make them run better. Sorry, man, it's a weird question, but would it be cheaper to pressure on bullets or just buy them? There is a point at which reloading becomes cheaper, but the initial setup of the dies, the press, everything you need, the powders, the primers, If you don't have brass already, you have to buy the brass. So your initial setup is going to be more expensive than just buying ammo. But in the long run, if you shoot lots of ammo, then it gets cheaper to reload. Glock 21 question mark. 45 ACP, 13 plus 1. Very thick grip. I would actually recommend the P10F, the CZ P10F in 45 before I would recommend the Glock 21. If you could bring back any discontinued drink, what would it be? Mine would be Sobe Elements. Mine would be OK Soda. OK Soda, I believe it was Coca-Cola, and it was a mix of basically every flavor they had. If you go to McDonald's and you put a little bit of every beverage out of their machine into a cup, you basically make OK Soda. Incoming press to gel and components just enough to get them hooked. Nope. Mine would be Volt. Oh, yeah, Volt was good. What would you say are the pros and cons of having a YouTube channel? Pros, you get to be immortal. My videos will outlive me as long as Google stays in business, which should. Cons, having to make videos to stay in the algorithm. If I didn't do the live stream today, it would be a week without a live stream, and I would drop so far that I wouldn't get recommended to anybody. Yeah. Pros, if you can play the game, play the search engine optimization, make clickbait titles, be a douche nozzle like Mr. Beast, you can make a living at it. Surge, if you go to Old Country Buffet in Minnesota, they still have Surge. Surge is available over commercial for commercial entities to buy. Reloading for my 62 caliber musket is as cheap as it gets. $1 a pound for scrap lead. Makes my own powder and nap my own flints. There you go, Anthony. Yeah, the initial cost of getting reloading hurts, but once you're in it, you can cut your prices in almost half on your ammo, depending on what you're shooting. Oh yeah, and especially if you're shooting custom rounds or you want custom rounds. So for a competition shooter, for example, if you need to load rounds hot, my STI Grandmaster is 38 Super Major, which means I need a heavier bullet going faster, which means I need a hotter round. Most manufacturers of 38 Super and guns like Rock Island, Colt, and there's a couple others. I think TSOS is making a 38 Super now. They're designed to run on regular strength ammo, so almost no company is going to dedicate themselves to manufacturing 124 grain, 1400 feet per second 38 Super. So yes, in that case, that becomes way cheaper. 4570. If you shoot 338 Lapua Magnum, reloading will save you so much money. 50 BMG, if you can get reloading dies, which you can, will save you money. They still have Old Country Buffets. In Minnesota, they do. Have I ever shot a super old loader rifle with powder? No, I have not. Would I try? Sure. You ever put a switch on a Glock? No, but as soon as I get around to redoing my paperwork for my Class 3, my buddy Stone wants to pay for a Glock 18 for the channel. I think you might need guns. Yes, I've got quite a few spots still. Joe, we're going to get you a 9mm bullet mold too so you can cast lead. Not going to happen, son. I'm going to use it. Hand to God. Hand to God. I was using a lead smelter thing as a doorstop for a year. I sold it to a buddy. Is it okay to be a Republican and not own a gun? It's fine that you don't own a gun, but the fact that you're political at all is no. We can get you a set of 45 ACP carbine dies too. No, I'm good. Good, Morrow. See, you talk about Stonehaven and the fucker appears. Definitely don't want to break into his house. Yo, you can break into my house, but my dog's going to bite you in the dick. Will that count as a Glock I own? No. Send me $400. I'll get you the best Glock you've ever seen. I don't need a gun. The fact that you're spamming on a YouTube guy that has like 50 fuckers watching him, Damn, Rottweiler? German Shepherd. Someone send Joe a 55-gallon drum balloon from Amazon, $1,900. No, just send me the $1,900. I'll buy a fucking X5 Classic. If I've never owned a gun and want one for home defense, what should I do? I'm in North Carolina. What you do is you go to a gun store and you see what guns you like. And then you do the paperwork. In the state of North Carolina, you do not require ownership licenses. So you're good. Do you know how to code in Python? No, I do not. I could probably teach myself. Give me a few days, but no. I don't code. If you're somebody who saw my Ghost at Tabor rants, then you can say what you want. I can identify code and certain programming, but I don't know how to program. Oh, I can order an adult toy on Amazon to Joe's. You're just wasting your money. Also, I'm going to put this in your head. Whatever adult toy you buy me, I'm going to use. So then you have to imagine me using whatever toy you buy me. Nipple clamps, a giant butt plug, whatever it is, you're going to have to live with the image of me wearing my fake titties and using whatever toy you purchase. If you come to North Carolina, come to my house. I got plenty. And there's always one or two more coming from the Jimmini Show. Double tap the screen. Absolutely. Thank you, Militant. What's your dream car? Let me guess. Tesla Cybertruck. Fuck no, dude. I'm old school. Muscle truck, muscle cars. Dude, I drive 2 Hemis, man. The only thing I want to do to a Tesla Cybertruck is push it off a fucking ravine. I want one of the Amazon fold-out houses. That'd be cool. Is it possible in any shape or form for a fashion for a 9mm penetrate armor? Yes, it is possible. If you're using a soft body armor that's been compromised or a ceramic body armor that's been compromised, it's possible. A very heavy round with a steel core could potentially punch level 2, but it would have to be a hell of a shot. You bought hot candy and you never used it. It's up there. No, you're the only person that contributed to the fun for it. And you keep buying me stupid shit. And if you want me to stick it in my ass, no. I have a colonoscopy next month, dude. I might eat it before that. Promo, he's messing with you, dude. They have private sales there, but he's not going to sell you any of the guns that I sold him. He won't even sell me my own goddamn guns back. You're getting a side-by-side. Would you be internal or external hammers? Never really considered it. I kind of want external hammers, though, the more I think about it. Getting you a Dragon Bussy because I love you. You don't even have my address, dude. You don't need a license to own a gun. You do need a concealed carry permit to carry one concealed, though. What size edible panties would you like? So, I've lost a lot of weight, so get me mediums. I don't want to eat too much. Also, I'm going to share it with Rocky, so keep that in mind. Can't pick up guns on live stream, son. What did you say about the repros of the high power? A lot of them are really nice, man. The Gerson MCP 35 is probably the most accurate. Imagine the devil's toe in your ass. I do every night, man. It's like, fuck, the devil's kicking me while I'm down. Whoever said that I don't do it, I don't think you want to imagine not trying to be rude. It's fine, dude. People are rude because it's the internet. I expected such, so I can just walk in the store, buy a gun, take it home, non-concealed. How's that work? Basically what you just said. So I believe North Carolina is an open carry state. So you'll want to carry in a holster. Just raw dogging that shit in your belt buckle works in the movies. It's not recommended in real life. But yeah, you can buy a gun from a gun store. And then here's the thing, though. When it's in the car, it has to be visible or it's concealed. So you have to keep that consideration. I would not say taking the gun out of the store to your home on your hip the day you buy it is going to raise some issues in terms of transportation. Okay, if I get some, will do. Okay. When you drink the colonoscopy juice, it will feel like you eat the candy. I told them to give me extra shots of the knockout shit because apparently my dad woke up during his. And as much fun as it is having a 6-foot hose in my ass, I'm not sure I want to be conscious for it. What makes it visible in the car? Putting it on the dash. So it needs to be visible from the window. It does not mean it has to be on the dash, but here's the interesting thing about carrying a gun in a car. Let's say that Shiloh is my gun, right? Out in the open, it's 100% fine. But if I were to accidentally set some papers down on top of that gun, now I'm concealing that gun. You can be charged with improper carrying of a firearm if you accidentally cover it. If you take your jacket off and lay it down over the gun, you can be charged with concealing a firearm. There's the sloth. Just go to a store, find what you like, sign some paperwork. They'll call in your background, make sure you're clean, then it's yours. Yep. No. Technically, you can just put it on a lockable box, and that's technically stored. Yes. So transportation, if you don't want it out in you can't have. So to keep it from being considered a concealed weapon in a vehicle, it cannot be within reach of you. It can be in your glove box if your box locks with a key. But I would recommend, if you don't have a concealed carry yet, is literally put it in the trunk of your vehicle or put it as far away from you as physically possible in the vehicle. Yeah, but what happens when your penis falls on top of it, Promo? If you're covering the gun, you're concealing it. Especially if it's like dickaflage. So long as this video, when the cop walks up the window and the only chance I'm pulled over on the way home. So I don't recommend and immediately carrying it. I don't recommend open carrying, period. Open carrying does nothing. It doesn't dissuade somebody from committing violence. It just makes you the target. So what I recommend you do when you buy that gun is you leave it in the box until you get home. Yeah, you found a little slot. Yeah, I knew where it was. So the plaque fell off and hit the computer and knocked the sloth off the other day. I did not see the pic. I'll have to look at it. If the gun comes in a box, yes. Whatever box your gun comes in, just leave it in it until you get home. No, I have not received any pictures, man. Send it again, would you? A friend of my uncle died a week after colonoscopy because they tore his intestine with the camera and went septic, and that did him in. Was waiting on a heart transplant when it happened. Jesus Christ. That's a terrible story, brother. I'm sorry. I live in an open carry, concealed carry state. I love it, but I conceal carry. Open carry creates a target in my eyes. So that's where I come in there. So when I'm in the store, I open carry because I want you to know that I'm armed. When a employee at a gun store is open carrying, it's because we are attracting the danger. It's the same reason cops open carry. They want to be the ones that are your first line of defense. But when I'm out in public, I conceal carry 100% of the time because you don't need to know that I'm armed. So when you have a Gravy Seal, a Kentucky Fried Champion, sitting there and he's carrying a fucking high point and a Serpa drop leg fabric fucking holster, that guy is nothing but a target. And I encourage people to do that if you're going to be that fucking stupid, because you're going to give me the time to draw my firearm and take a precise aim on the target. Here in rural Montana, people open carry all the time because of the threats of wildlife. That is one of the few instances that I will agree that open carrying is fine. When you're working, if you're in an area of high predator populations, mountain lions, coyotes, chupacabras, whatever the case may be. I do agree with that, Anthony. Cable lock through the magwell, put a lock container. That's cable locked inside your trunk. Yep. What's your favorite gun on the wall? Tonight, my favorite gun would be my Dan Wesson DWX with the custom finish on it. Yeah, everybody go over to the Discord. I'm not in the Discord very often because I'm a very disabled motherfucker who doesn't like doing shit. But my other guys like Stonehaven, Drunk Mouse, a lot of people are in the Discord, and they're good people. You conceal carry a SIG 365. Actually, a very good choice and competent gun. I was in Vermont at a restaurant, and I saw my waiter was open carrying. Again, he's at work, so I guess I can understand that. Maybe the diner had been robbed before. Just sent you the email. All right, hang on a second. You sure you're sending it to the right email? Yeah, so join the Discord, because even if you just leave a message, somebody's going to answer you. I'd like to grow that too. Everybody join the Discord! He's so used to me talking now, he's just sleeping through that. I have no clue what Discord is. Discord is an internet-based server that allows more private discussions based on a group of people wanting to follow a certain individual. A lot of things that we discuss on Discord cannot be discussed here on YouTube because of Google's policies. Best lower to build your gun from scratch: Knight's Armament, LWRC, Noveski. Those are all excellent lowers. They're expensive, but you just ask for the best. That's where I would, yeah. Hello from Argentina. Hello, Argentina. How is Argentina tonight? Oh no, a fake fucking YouTube representative told me that I'm using their music. Fucking file your claim, you losers. Yeah, I'm still not seeing it, dude. I'd say just text it to me. Do you have a 22 LR pistol, bro? Nope. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the average American addict. Ah, nope, swap shift. It's the average American basement. I got the drinks. So, anyways, Mom, my guns are on the wall. You say open carrying in public in rural areas in general is acceptable. Seems very common once outside of the city suburbs. I don't live in those areas, so I'm still going to say no. If you're open carrying in a rural area, that's a really bad rural area. You should be carrying less when you live in a small town, because everybody knows your name. Decentralized social platform. You join a server of like-minded individuals. So it's like cryptocurrency. Interesting way of putting it. You're hilarious, bro. Just got me. No worries. I resent it to you. Email. Yep, there it is. Lol. But yes, that's how I would recommend that you transport a firearm in the state of California. Fuck, I'm so tired. I'm so tired, I want to cry. Have you ever been that tired? Have you ever been so tired that you turn into an infant again? You're like, I don't want to go to sleep, but dude, right now my eyes are closed and I feel so good. I've got a soul boner. I'm so happy right now. What's up, Cushion? If the left got their ante and banned guns, how much do you think it would affect the economy? If guns were banned in the United States, it would actually not affect it as much as I think you think it would. Between you and I, Stone, we make up the average 15 to 20 households in terms of total gun ownership. Honestly, I probably exceed that on my own. But, yeah. Five-minute warning. Shit, is it 9:55? Jesus Christ. Oh, good. See what I did? Haha, it was in a heavy-duty locked Hornady box, cable locked in my trunk. That's the way to do it. It prevents anybody from accusing you of pretending that you wanted to use it. Pretending? What the fuck? All right, so Halloween live stream, Cash App, Jimmini. I'll put it in here. Do yourself a favor, go to sleep. Oh, I intend to. So I'm putting my Cash App up. If we get to $1,000 by Halloween, I will eat the world's hottest chocolate bar, the world's hottest gummy bear, and I will suckle the toe of Satan. If we get to $2,000 by the end of the month, I will wear the fake titties in a cat suit. Well, I like small town of Rising Sun, Indiana. I don't like the state itself, but I like the small town that I live in because everybody's friendly and everybody knows everybody else. Yep. Thanks for always answering our questions and putting up with us. Hey, Tommy, dude, thank you guys for coming along. Now, I don't usually ask you guys to do any kind of monetary donations or anything like that without giving you something back. That's why I offer this stupid shit. Me cross-dressing, me doing all this other stuff. The hoodies. Still got 44 available for pre-order. They're $45 plus shipping, figure $55. Black, gray, and OD green in XL, 2XL, 3XL, and a few in 4XL. So if you're interested, you have to Cash App it to me because YouTube, again, takes 30% of your donations. I can barely keep my eyes open, guys. Miguel, what's up? Halloween's going to be wild. Not if people don't come up with the money. Like I said, I'm not doing stupid shit for free. I'm willing to be a whore. I'm not going to be a slut. There's a big difference. A slut gives it away for free. A whore gets paid. All right, 2-minute warning. I'm going to show the dog, and then I'm going to go 1 minute early. So, yeah, thank you guys so much. Somebody hit the like button for me, would you? Anybody, please? If you haven't hit the like button, somebody hit the like button. Please. Please, please. Somebody. Buckshot, thank you. Hank. Goose. Yeah, Goose would, if Goose was still around. Thanks for the live stream, no problem. A fun way to kill an evening sitting with the truck stop. Thank you, Joe. Other Joe, thank you. Made it 100. Thank you, Simon. They take 30%. That's like how much lawyers take. What the fuck? Yep, they do. They take 30%, and here's the best part. If you send it in, like right now, they've already calculated last month, so September's money, and they'll send it to me at the end of this month, which means any money sent me right now would not come until 6 weeks from now. Have a good night, man. Get the live, get the bot, get the blitz. I like words. Want to see my doggo one more time before I go? Hold on. Hey, Rocky. Hey, Rocky. Oh, he's Rocky. Hey, you want to see what happens when we do this? No? I love how he gives me side eye these days. Okay. How about a milk bone? Why don't I wear mesh trucker hats? Because I like fitted caps. I don't like snapbacks. Milk bone? Okay, we'll try that again. Milk bone? Dude, that's when you know a dog is tired. That's when you know a dog is tired. When it takes him 2 minutes to be willing to eat a snack. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Hey, Rocky, say goodbye. All right, guys. We'll talk to you later. Good night, guys.